We've touched on outlining, but this is where we're going to look at it in more detail. Step 6 is outlining your project, which basically means you indent tasks, and we did this in this particular project. We indented tasks simply by selecting them and using the indent button to indent and the outdent button to send it back if we didn't want to. The shortcut keys were Alt-Shift right arrow to indent and Alt-Shift left arrow to outdent. It's now important to know that you can also collapse just by hitting this little black triangle, and I can collapse tasks that are perhaps completed, or I can collapse tasks that are perhaps too far away, or they've already been done, or they're of no interest to the reader. And so you can collapse and expand the amount of detail that you see. Or you could go to the View tab in the ribbon and you'll find that you've got an outline button. If I click on the outline button, I can say, give me the level 1 summary tasks. And so the level 1 summary tasks are the top level tasks. The top level tasks, those that aren't indented, are paint house, landscape, build fence, and build shed. If I then went to outline again and said, give me the second level, that is the ones that aren't indented and the ones that are just indented once, then that would be this particular view. And if I go back to the outline button, you can see that you can basically indent up to 9 levels. So you can have outlining up to 9 levels, which is very rare. Usually it's around the 3-4 mark. If I was to choose the option all subtasks, then I would see everything come back. So notice also when I outline and go to level 2 that the row numbering skips. So if you find that your row numbering is skipped, that's a lot of your tasks are missing, that you can't see them, and that your row numbering is skipped, one of the things it possibly could be is the outline. So if you went to View and you went to Outline and all subtasks, that might bring it all back. It might not if it's a filter problem, but it will if it's an outline problem. Okay, now the other thing is milestones. It's really important to insert as many milestones as you can do. Just to give you a demonstration, I might click on Landscape Grounds and I'll press the Insert key. And this is basically painting complete. And to create a milestone as opposed to a subtask, which is a blue bar, I'll just save yes. 10 minutes goes quickly. I'll put 0D. As soon as you put 0 duration, you've created a milestone. And so it's immediately shown as a diamond and gives me a date, which is the 5th of the 6th. If I then went to here and said project complete, 0D, again a milestone appears as a zero duration, and it appears as a diamond with a date. And so that's what milestones are. Now, sometimes you will be asked to insert, or you may wish to insert, what they call a WBS, a work breakdown structure. We often need to insert columns in projects, so I'm going to show you how you do this. If you right-click Task Name and you left-click Insert Column, you will see there are a ton of columns that you can insert above and beyond the ones you've already been given. And I want to insert W, so I press W so that I can get the work breakdown structure. When I click work breakdown structure, what you see here is the WBS, or work breakdown structure column, and you can see that it's automatically given you numbers, and the numbers reflect the indenting. So paint house is 1, planning is 1.1 because it's indented, plan house paint is 1.1.1 because it's indented. This can be quite useful for people to identify tasks rather than refer to a task by its name, because its name could be long, or it might be a name like Chemwash, which appears like several times in that project. And so to be exactly clear about which one you're referring to, you could refer to its work breakdown structure number as opposed to the row number, which doesn't always print. So you've got to think, if they've printed out this project and they're referring to a certain task, and the task is a really long name, or that task is repeated several times in the project, it's easier to refer to that task by its number than by its name. You can also go into field settings. If I right click WBS and go into field settings, and I might decide that I want to align that data to the right and even put its title to the right. And when I go OK, you can see that they're right aligned. If you decide you don't want the work breakdown structure column, you can right click it and you can hide it. So you don't get to delete columns in Project. That would be dangerous. To be able to delete a column would mean that you would lose everything in that column. What we do is we insert them to show them, or we hide them. So really perhaps that should have been renamed show column and hide column, but I'm just going to hide it. Instead of the work breakdown structure, you may want to show instead the outline numbering, which means that the numbering isn't in a separate column. The numbering actually goes next door to the task name. For this, we would go to Format, and we would tick the option out to the right here called Outline Number. When I tick that, what you see now is the outline numbering actually appears next door to the task name, which I actually think looks better. So I'm going to leave mine on. I like the outline numbering, and you may even consider making that part of your template. In fact, let's come back to the concept of the template. When we created the template or saved the file as a template, it was saving the public holidays, it was saving the calendar settings. So maybe also in your template, any generic tasks that are always involved in a maintenance contract, add them to the template, save them with the template. And also maybe the outline numbering, perhaps that should be part of the template, or maybe the WBS column should be part of the template. So think about things like that.